Hola, hola, it's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome, and I am here to remind you. I'm a confidence coach, and I'm a bold stand for confidence, and I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. My loves, welcome to the podcast. Oh my gosh, do I have an incredible guest for you today. I don't have many men on my podcast. I almost feel like Hamish has been the only man that I've ever had on my podcast. And today we have an incredible man, another gentle man named DJ Majd. His name is Majd, but we call him DJ Majd. And I met him on Clubhouse. I have connected with him, become friends with him and his beautiful partner, Isabella. They live in Montreal in Canada. And the reason why I wanted him on the podcast, this podcast is called the Confidence Chronicles podcast. It's about stories. It's about ideas of confidence and how we come from hard shit and we move and we triumph. And when I listened to Majd and his incredible story on how he came to Montreal from Syria and escaped the war with his dad and who he is in the world and his incredible humble energy and vibe, and now being an incredibly successful DJ who has got number one worldwide, chart-topping mixtapes. I mean, incredible success, and so humble and so sweet. And I really wanted you to listen to his story, whether you're a woman or a man or identifying as a woman or man. His story is one of resilience. It's one of humble, beginnings and coming and building this incredible community that he's built and the vision that he has and how he makes people feel. And I know that you're going to take so much from today's episode. So without further ado, here is my homeboy, DJ Majd. DJ Majd is in the house on today's podcast episode. Oh my God, I'm so happy that you are here. Welcome.
What's up, Erica? I'm so happy to be with you.
I am excited. My face hurts because you know how much love I have for you and your amazing girlfriend. And I met you, like many others, recently on Clubhouse. How crazy. From Clubhouse to podcast to being here and connecting with you. For anybody who's listening and maybe doesn't know about your amazing self, can you just let the people know who you are, what you do, and where you're from?
Erica, first of all, I want to give you the biggest thanks for having me on your podcast. You are amazing. I'm looking at you with your awesome hat. I know that people can't see this awesome hat that you've got going on there, but you are stylish, you are confident, and you are so powerful, and I'm happy to be in your presence.
Oh, I love you. You're the best.
My name is Majd. I'm a DJ in Montreal. I'm an artist, a creative, and a community builder. And we met on Clubhouse. What a small world. This app has truly built so many bridges for me across the world. And I've met awesome people like yourself, and I'm happy to be with you. You can find me on Instagram at DJ Majd MTL. That's DJ MAJD MTL. And everywhere else in the world, where you go, in the online world, you'll find me at DJ Majd MTL.
And you need to find this man because he's amazing. And we're going to pop everything in the show notes so you can connect with him. I said to you before we started recording that I don't have many men on my podcast. And obviously because my target audience is women. And I had you on here specifically because when I first connected with you, we came off of Clubhouse and went into a Instagram live or Instagram video together, and we got to meet and connect. And to my listeners, y'all know that I love hearing stories of hope, inspiration, how people got to where they got to. I love hearing about that. And when you started sharing your story, I got teary and my eyes were watering, and I'm like, because everybody listening, he's an incredible human and you don't know what's behind people's stories. And so I love this story. I love where you came from. And I just wanted to have the audience hear it because I think so many times we allow our mindset to stop us. We allow our past and the experiences we had or the lack of resources or the lack of opportunities to stop us from living the life we want to live. And so I would love if you could share with us, where you were from and how you came to Canada and to be where you are now.
That's a long story. How long do we have?
Man, we got time. It's a juicy story. So tell, like, it's your like origin story, right? And I think it's important because people hear, you're a chart topping DJ, like your freaking new mixtape is like #1, right? And like, tell us, like,
Yeah, #1 worldwide, 5 different charts, online. It performed tremendously well compared to the last one that I dropped. And honestly, a big influence to that is Clubhouse and the people I met. All these connections that I built, it was when the mixtape was dropping and people felt so connected with it and connected with who I am that they showed me love without even ever having to meet me, which is so beautiful.
wow.
My story is a long one, but I'll make it super brief because, and hopefully this can resonate with somebody that's listening to this podcast. I know you've got an awesome audience and an amazing community, Erica. You're so inspirational to everybody that especially looks up to you. My story back in 2011, when the war started in Syria, my dad and we had packed our bags and said, all right, we need to head out and we need to make a future for ourselves. Mainly what he was saying is I need to make a future for my kid. I was 16 and a half at the time. And so I was in that stage where I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life, but I definitely knew that I could not accomplish anything that I wanted had I stayed back home. And so we knew the answer was we need to find a different place so we can live. Maybe we'll go back home someday, but for the time being, we need to find another home. And Canada was the first answer that came to mind. We were lucky we had gotten a visa to immigrate, and the timing just worked magically. And so we hopped on the plane, and 12 hours later, I was in this new country. We got to the airport. We had no idea what we were doing, right? We didn't know anybody here. And we just took the bus, and we said, let's see where this bus is going to go. Literally. We had no idea where the bus is going. Everybody said, you need to take this bus. It'll take you downtown. That's where you'll sort of figure it out. So we get out of the bus and we're just amazed by this new city. I remember it was mid-August, and where the bus dropped us was right next to the gay village in Montreal. So it's a little neighborhood where the LGBT community sort of celebrates and does events, and it's like a hub there. And so it was that week was Gay Pride in Montreal, and so it was very colorful. And so imagine these 2 Syrians coming off the bus, and they're just like seeing all these colors, and we're like, wow. First of all, I was like, what's going on here? Like, did we not get the memo? Is there a party? Like, we looked a bit rugged and too tanned to be there. But I was just so amazed by the energy that the city had. And at that moment, we realized, we're like, you know what? We can make something happen here. We can make something work. And we walked around. We got a motel. We paid for 3 nights, and then we gave ourselves 3 nights to sort of figure out the apartment, start working, and start making some money, because we didn't come in with a lot of money. I remember I had $1,000. He had $700. And I had more than him because my grandmother gave me more than him. So, but it was definitely a lot more than a lot of people that come here with zero. They start below scratch. So it definitely helped us out the first 3 days. And on the second day, he found the job. On the third day, we found the apartment. 4th day, I was working at McDonald's. And from that moment onwards, it was like the best roller coaster ride you can ever imagine. The relationships that I built over the last 8-9 years have truly changed my life. I managed to make my way through university. I graduated with a degree in finance, got myself a job that I really love in the corporate world. But at the same time, what I really also wanted to do is pursue my passion of music. I started falling in love with music way back home, when I used to go to these events and I see DJs and their amazing energy and how they control the room and can really change somebody's lives from that moment where they play the right song and take them out of their world into another one. And I was like, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to have that influence on people where I can share my energy with somebody that's having a bad day, and I can just make him or her snap out of it so quickly and take them to another world. And so being in Montreal, this beautiful city, opened that door for a creative like myself who wants to work in the corporate world, but at the same time enjoy all the artistic sides of the world. And then I was like, you know what? Let's do both. Let's find a way to still make my analytical side of the brain happy, but at the same time my creative one. Because as humans, I feel like we have the capacity to do as much as we want to do, as long as we're passionate about it. I'm like, why limit to one thing? Why can't I be these two things? Why can't I be so much more than that? And here I am today. I'm doing both. I'm loving doing both. And I've built this amazing world for myself where I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Mm.
And the highlight of all that is being on your podcast right now.
I am like over here teary-eyed, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know. When I first heard your story, I don't know why. Maybe there has to be like, I see myself in your story. I see my mother. I see my children because I'm a mother. Like I see your father. And I'm over here like trying to not cry on my podcast, even though you're the guest. And I'm like, I'm going to start crying because like, so you're 16 years old. Okay. It's Syria. Like when we spoke, it was like bombs are going off in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like that is full on, you know, like that is humongous. And the fact that, and I don't believe anything happens by mistake, right? Everything happens. It's conspiring for us in whatever way. And your father, so how was the family? So do you have siblings? Was it just you and your dad always? Like how did it become just you and him heading off?
Yeah, so we caught the early beginnings of the war. The war started in March 2011 and we had left in August. So we had seen about 5 months of it develop. And so we were fortunate that we weren't there for a long time when it really sort of hit its peak. But we definitely caught that beginning of it where the riots were happening, the protests were happening, where like gunshots were happening, bombs, smaller bombings in neighborhoods. But definitely we were lucky and fortunate to have left before it actually blew up. My stepmom had stayed there because they hadn't met when my dad applied for the visa. So getting her with us was a challenge at that moment. So she had to stay there. I have no siblings. I'm the only child. So that was a bit easier, right? And so we had to come here. We had to build something safe, something more established, and then applied for her to come. But that took about 3-4 years. And we knew that. So we're like, that's going to give us 3-4 years to build something before she can come here and make sure everything is like habitable, right? We're two guys, so we can sort of scramble around things. We don't need like a lot. We can make do with like a 1-bedroom apartment, which is where we stayed for like 2 years. But then by the time she came, we had already built something where like we have a home. It's going to be spacious. It's going to be comforting. Like we didn't want to bring her into another mess.
Yeah.
Right. Like she had stayed there living the war. So we were like, well, if she's going to come here, we have to build something so good here that she doesn't have to relive that by the time she leaves it. And so we were lucky we did that. And when she made it, she was the happiest woman on earth. So definitely a blessing. I still have family there, my uncles, my cousins. They're in the safer regions, so they're good. And things have been getting a lot better, which is really good. Yeah. It quieted down tremendously over the last 2 years.
Hey, this is a little intermission from me to you. I just really quickly wanted to invite you to pretty please head over to thequeenofconfidence.com/podcast. If you are enjoying this podcast, I would love for you to review it. Let me know what you think. I love honest opinions. It helps more women reach this podcast. So pretty please head over to thequeenofconfidence.com/podcast or go to Apple iTunes and leave me a beautiful little review. I would love and appreciate it. All right, sister, let's get back to the episode. It's so powerful because, you know, when you meet someone like yourself, and even if you're listening to this and you didn't come from another country, but maybe your parents were immigrants, or maybe you had trauma growing up, or you grew up in a really tough area and you had to overcome stuff. Like there's so much that you had to overcome at 16. And I can imagine that at 16, you were probably more like a 27-year-old, right? Like you were like a man trying to organize and work and look after your dad and also make sure that he was good and you were good. And like, you know, it's so crazy. What do you feel was the biggest takeaway for you, or the thing in that experience that today is still stuck with you, that helps you do what you do today?
That's a good question. Before I answer that, I want to say, Erica, your story is nothing short of inspirational. What you've lived, and you were sharing that with me the other day. I was listening to it, and I was like, wow, it's just so not refreshing, but also it gives you that boost of energy where you hear somebody with a similar story and that has been through life's ups and downs. But when it hit down, it hit like down effing hard. But then to see that bounce back and how you climbed back, I can only raise my hat to you. I'm not wearing a hat.
You could swear on this podcast because I say fucking motherfuckers all the time. I say it.
I didn't know. So I was like, effing.
It's me. Yeah, no, I think that's why. Honestly, when I connected, and we just met, so when I connected with you, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a great story. And there are men who listen to my podcast, even though it is directed to women. There are men who message me on LinkedIn and they're like, your podcast changed my life or it helped me. And so shout out to the dudes listening to this, or anybody identifying as a man. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. But yeah, you're I don't know. I see you, and I see how when I listen to you in Clubhouse, or when I hear you on Instagram, even all of the amazing shit you've done and built, you're very humble. You're very humble. And I think it's something that, yeah, back to that question. I feel like, I don't know, do you feel like that experience made you humble or resilient or agile or able to create from, like, what do you feel like that gave you the biggest thing?
100%. The moment that changed my life for me, and I remember it to this day, was the airplane taking off from the airport when we were leaving home. And I remember exactly what song I was listening to. I remember exactly that moment and what was going through my head. And the first thing that popped in was, you made it, but you didn't make it this far to only make it this far. So I knew that I was on a mission. The second that plane was going to land, it was going to be go time. It was going to be like, the world's my oyster. I need to make what I want to make in my life as soon as I land. I need to plant all the seeds and just get going, because that opportunity was not offered to any of my friends, any of the people that stayed behind. You couldn't waste it. I mean, how could you, right? When you're leaving, it's such a kick in the butt where it's like, okay, now you're gonna have to make it for everybody that couldn't, because now you have this amazing opportunity that millions of people don't. And when you look back at it, you're like, yeah. So if I'm here surrounded with all these resources, why would I just sit and look at everybody else? Why can't I make something for myself? And since that moment, every day I'm waking up, and you have low days, you have bad days where you're not as Gary V like.
Yeah.
And that's okay, right? That's okay. We're human. But as long as it's top of mind in your head, that you're not losing focus of what your purpose is, you're always going to wake up with the same level of energy and with the same level of resilience to just keep going.
That's the thing too. You have this, and I have a belief about this, and I think Gary and a lot of people talk about this. I have a belief that I feel like when I came to Australia, I had that fire you had, that like, oh shit, okay, to me, Australia is like the new land of opportunity, because there's not a lot of people here. It's a massive country. There's a lot that isn't done here that already has been done in America that hasn't happened here. And so I look at myself as a different person. I'm not the same as everybody here. I can create new things, new ideas. I'm like, it's an oyster here. And sometimes people who've lived here their whole lives and raised here maybe would complain about certain things that I'm like, wow, how fucking amazing. That shit's an opportunity. And I can see in your own life, like how I almost feel like you wouldn't complain, or your dad wouldn't complain about things, because it wasn't a luxury for you back home. Like you said, so many millions of people didn't get the opportunity that you got. And listen, when you're listening to this shit, here's the opportunity. Getting on a plane and leaving your friends and family behind in a war. Here's the opportunity. Working at fucking McDonald's. Wow, that's a fucking opportunity. I get to work at McDonald's in Montreal. I get to live in a motel with my dad and share a 1-bedroom apartment for 2 fucking years. So if you're listening going, I wish I had a job, you could work at damn McDonald's, but will you do it? Like, you're doing that, or you did that. Like, it blows it's amazing. Like, oh my God.
And you've lived it too, right? when you moved, it was like you've been through so much shit, excuse my language, and you made it there, but it was like a clean slate. It was like, okay, now I get to write whatever I want to write, but now my pen has lived years and years and years of experiences, so my pen is so much more powerful. You see it, but somebody that's been in the same context doesn't. It's like, imagine if you've been sitting on your couch drinking beer after beer after beer, watching TV. You get sucked into that lifestyle that you don't even realize what's wrong. But if somebody comes into your home and says, "Oh, it smells bad," you're like, "No, it smells normal." Well, that's the difference. So you need to take a step back, walk out of that environment, and then you realize, holy cow, what am I doing and what can I do? And then make the change happen. And that's really what happened.
It's so powerful. And I think this is why I think it's so important to tell these stories, and why I wanted to have you on here, and why I love and back you in your whole story, because if you haven't had a hard upbringing, that's not your fault. That's not your fault. No one's saying that. Or if you haven't had this crazy trauma. I did a room with Suze last night or the night before, who knows, Clubhouse time. And we shared, about, I have this crazy story, and she's like, and I don't. And there's almost this, and I did a podcast about it, like story shame. A trauma shame. Like, I don't have any trauma, so I'm ashamed. Who am I with my no story? And if that's you, I don't want you to think that way. I hope that we can combine our amazing, perfect lives with maybe no trauma, but still you experience shit. Like, you still have had hard times. We've all had hard times, mixed with someone like yourself, Majd, that's had this incredible experience, and you've become such an amazing person, man, son, partner to your girlfriend, just an amazing human being out in the world that people can look up to. And we combine these people together. We combine someone that's like, I haven't lived that shit, but I have seen people who have, and from that I'm going to take and learn, and vice versa, right? And so I think that that's the missing key, is like, how can we be more grateful for what we have and look at life as an opportunity if we haven't lived hard shit, and maybe look at how we take things for granted, like being able to work at fucking McDonald's. If you don't have money, go get your ass to work at the gas station, or you too bougie and too fancy because your ego won't let you do that. Versus learning from people that have had a hard story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's such a beautiful, this story. You know what I mean? You can combine. Yeah.
And here's the cool thing to what you're saying too. No matter how hard your story is, there's always somebody who's had it harder. So whoever you are, you'll always find that person where you can sort of look at, be like, wow, my problems really don't measure up. And that's okay. And they shouldn't. But at the same time, the point of it is gratitude. Yeah. Just being grateful for where you are today is going to push you to take you to the next level, because you realize how blessed you are. And it's not about comparison. I mean, the goal behind what we're doing, right? The goal of you moving countries and building this new future is so you can make sure your kids don't have to do that. Right? That's the whole point. If you believe that what you did is the best thing to do, then you would make your kids go through it, which is absolutely not going to happen, right? What I'm going through and what I'm building is for the hope that my kids don't ever have to work at a McDonald's. If they want to, by all means, but they don't have to experience that experience. That's the whole idea. But with the awareness that experiencing something like that is okay, and it's going to teach you a few things, but to be grateful for not having to experience that and make the best out of the situation.
Yeah. And I think we learned that through storytelling and understanding, really having some perspective, right? Like perspective of what's really hard, what's been hard for me, and what am I complaining about? And like you said, even just the fact that in our countries, in Canada and in Australia and in the US, we don't have bombs going off in our backyard. Wow. Like, that shit is, we have clean running water. Like, that shit like that, that's like, if you're out there and you're like, man, I don't have a purpose, I don't know what to do with my life, like, go back to the simple daily shit. Like, everybody has a breath. Everybody that's listening to this podcast is alive. And every fucking day, 155,000 people don't wake up. every day. They don't wake up. You fucking awake. You're winning. Amazing. Like, that's a win already, you know, that you have air in your lungs and that you have blood that's working and you're alive. So I think that and this is why I wanted you on here, because, you know, people can get caught up. They're like, you have such a smooth voice and you're doing amazing DJ stuff and you're so cool. And now you've created this whole community. Like, listen to me. You came from nothing, from nowhere, with no family, with no one. And now you're literally leading other DJs, supporting and connecting with other DJs to live their dreams around the world, and creating a community within your town of Montreal. Tell us about all of that, because like, how did that happen?
Erica, what I'm doing is nothing short. It's so short of what you're doing.
No, stop. Remember, no comparison.
No comparison, but there is a lot of appreciation, by all means. So what I'm building with the Montreal Connected community, it's this new thing on Clubhouse, right? We all jumped aboard this train, and a lot of Montrealers started coming in. And where I saw the opportunity is an opportunity to serve. And by serving, I mean, let me find the way to connect all these awesome people together from the city so that, one, they can build each other up, but two, be a space where they can connect, meet each other, and build amazing relationships that we so desperately need right now. If you think about it, this pandemic, if it has taught us anything, at least for me, it has taught me how much I love people, right? Yeah. And the fact that I haven't been with people for so long, I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I love meeting somebody at a bar and just talking and shooting the shit for 3 hours, right? I love talking to my neighbor as I'm walking outside, and next thing you know, we're grabbing a cigarette or whatever. Yeah. You know, like, I love these interactions. But with the pandemic, you realize that we needed that, and Montrealers needed it. And so when I hopped on the app, I said, okay, I'm one of the few Montrealers on here. No one really found out about this app, so let me sort of set the stage for when everybody starts coming in, they know that there's a place where they can belong as well. Because you realize as soon as you start joining a community as big as Clubhouse, you always look for your tribe or your community or your family. So you want to sort of categorize yourself with some people. So I'm like, let me set this stage up and see who comes up. We started with 5 people. Now we have hundreds of people joining the rooms and connecting. And these relationships are just being built. What's even astonishing to me is that people believed in what I'm building and they joined the team. They're like, how can I help you? Like, how can I be a part of your team? And at first I was like, I have no team. Like, it's just me, you know, like, you want to come and help me out? Let's do it. Let's make some magic happen. But now we're 13 people. Wow. And I'm like, in a week, there's 13 people that said, I want to help and get involved in whatever this guy is doing. 10 of them, I have no idea who they are. I've never met in my life. Right? They're Montrealers. They're like mutual connections, but they just believed. And then tens of people message me and say, I want to get involved. I want to get involved. So because the purpose was genuine and authentic and selfless, people connected with it. And I feel like that is generating such amazing relationships that we so desperately needed.
How do you feel like is the key to getting people to enroll in your vision when you're doing something? Because there's a lot of people who listen to the podcast who are like, I want to do this thing. I want to do this thing. I want to do this thing. And maybe they feel lonely or they feel like they're the only ones trying to do it. You know, obviously Clubhouse is a great resource and we want to talk about that. But how do you feel? What's the most important thing in order to get others enrolled into a vision that you're trying to create like you did?
So let me ask you this, if I may. Because I know this is a podcast. When women don't feel confident, it's really easy to feel alone. And then nobody else has felt that way. So I'm going to answer you, but I would love for you to tell me as well, how do you make sure that all these women feel that they're not alone and feel empowered and then follow you on your journey? Because what you're doing is nothing short of phenomenal, Erica. And I know I've said this millions of times, but I'll keep on saying it.
I haven't paid him, you guys. I promise I haven't paid him to say any of this. No, just kidding. Yeah, I think just I have this thing where I say, like, get metaphorically naked online. You know, it's hilarious. But like, get metaphorically naked, like let people see you stripped down with all your flaws and your scars and your cellulite and your hot mess and your mum bun and your not niceness, not just always looking great and amazing. And as in not everything is always perfect. Like let people really see you. And I feel like when you let people see you, they feel seen in you, because we aren't all perfect and amazing and incredible. We are flawed. We do have things that are going on. And so it's a recognition of like, oh, Erica swears, I do too. Oh, she really doesn't like her toes. Me neither. Whatever. Like, oh, she struggles with this. Fuck, I struggle with that. Or even if she used to struggle with confidence, I used to not have any confidence. I was really lacking of confidence, bad. And I was comparing myself and I was judgmental to other women. I thought women were bitches. I had all this shit going on. And that had a reflection of who I was being. And so I was seeing the reality of what I was believing in my real world, because I was creating my own reality. So I talk about that and women go, oh, me too. Oh, you get me. You're in my head. That's what people say. Like, it's like you're in my head and you're thinking what I'm thinking. And I'm like, I know, because I'm you. Like, we're the same. I'm just deciding to not allow that to control and live my life. So that's kind of how I do it. And how I've built like this here is let people feel seen and heard. So how do you feel like you've enrolled all these amazing people into your vision and into your incredible creative world where you get to be you and share music and life with amazing people?
First of all, I love what you just said, and I think that speaks to how beautifully powerful you are in your community. And again, I would raise my figurative hat to you at all times.
I feel like you've built community, and I think that that's really powerful. Like how have you enrolled and have you been the one to build community where people go, hey, I listen to you. I like what you have to say. I trust you. I'm following. Yeah. Like, because it's the same thing you've done. It's just different communities, but you have been the common denominator, right?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what that is. I try to be as real as I can be with all my intentions at all times. And so, for example, with the Montreal community on Clubhouse, when I tell people this is why I'm doing it, the answer is I'm doing it to just connect you guys together. I just want to do that. I have no agenda in the back end. I don't want to make money off of anything. I am not trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to leverage this user base to start selling advertisements. And these are all things that you can do, right? When your business hat comes on, you can do that. But I'm genuinely just trying to connect everybody, and they see that. And so they say, okay, that's somebody that I trust, is credible, and I'm going to follow, and I'm going to see where that's going to lead me. And so far it's been great, right? People test you out. Yeah. And if you're not consistent with the results that you preached in the beginning, then they're going to drop you like this, which is fair. And so by being genuine and authentic and real with them, no hidden agendas, but at the same time delivering on the promise, that's what keeps them going. In the DJ world, it's the same thing. If I'm speaking to a community of DJs, then I'm coming in from a place of truth. This is what I've done. This is how I've done it. The source is there. You can go check it out. If you don't believe me, let me help you out in whatever way I can help you. In festivals, when I'm playing, it's the same thing. I'm coming in with energy, right? Energy doesn't lie. Mm-hmm. So people feel that. You're coming in, you're playing, people are going, wow, but they're experiencing that. So when you go and say, I played that festival and I rocked it, people believe it because when people were there, people spoke about it. There's pictures, there's videos, there's proof, but it all comes from the authentic self when you preach it, and people connect with that. People see through the bullshit. As much as people like to think that you can fake it sometimes, you can't. You can never fake it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You can never fake it because people know not to expect you to be perfect, but people know to expect you to be transparent. Yeah. And people can catch that so fast.
Yeah. There's a saying in the book that I wrote, and I always love saying this. It's like, fuck fake it till you make it. Like, it's like fake it till you make it. I hate that so much. It's like, fuck fake it, just make it. You know, like if you don't have it, make it up, do it, like create it. You don't have to pretend, just go make it, like make it happen for yourself in the way that you do. And I love that because you're right. Like when I first listened to you, obviously I was in a room with Chris and all the guys, and they were, it's so funny because the word edify, I didn't fucking know what that word was. I'm like, they use all these fucking big words, Brendan. Edify. I'm like Googling I'm like, what the fuck does edify mean? What is that shit? And edify, to anybody listening, if you're like me and you didn't know, is like, complimenting and highlighting and saying good words about people. Like, you've been edifying me all today and I've been doing it to you, but it's like, oh, you're amazing. He's incredible. And so they were just talking about you in such a beautiful way. And something that you've done, and I'd love to hear about this as well, was like how this happened. But, they were talking about you and then you were playing music in this Clubhouse room, which like people, like I did a whole podcast about Clubhouse in case you haven't already like got onto it. But, it was so cool because they were talking about you and then I got a chance to hear from you and you just sounded really genuine and gentle and caring and humble. And then you played this music and it was so sick and it was like vibes and you created this vibe. And then it was like, I'm done, over to you guys. Like very like service, which I feel like you are. You are just this humble, service giving, love creating energy person that's like, all right, that's it. Here you go. Like that's for you. Nothing asked in return. And I'd love to know maybe how did you come about being like the Clubhouse DJ, which I feel like should be in your bio. How did you come about doing this on Clubhouse? Because that's pretty, I guess it's not normal to think like, I could play music on my phone while I'm talking on this app. Like, I guess you can, but you're a DJ, so you thought about that. How did that come about?
I just see Clubhouse as a whole entertainment world. You're entertaining people with your voice, with the topics, with the conversations you create, just the same thing that we're doing now. And so because I entertain people with my music, I was like, this is how I entertain. This is what I do. This is what I do for a living. So why can't I be more than just the voice and the sound that comes out of my mouth? Why can't I be so much more? Because I can. And then one day in Chris's room, I was messaging him and I was like, hey, you know what would be cool? Because like you're talking a lot about these rooms being productions and back-end chat and so many things. I'm like, why don't you make them an actual production? Like, let's just put some music in there, get some artists, singers, comedians, whatever. Like, let's make it a show. Because Clubhouse is transforming itself from a podcast into a show, into radio, television, YouTube, you name it. It's going to be the world of creation for content. And so we started putting in music and I loved it. And then I started doing mixes on Clubhouse. Like I'll start rooms and I'll say, hip hop nights, come in, come and hang. And I'll play music for an hour. So it really gave me another medium to play music, especially with the pandemic, having not had the opportunity to play for an audience. I would see you guys and you're like tapping your mic. I'm like, these are real people reacting in real time, which is really what I love about DJing. I see people's reactions in real time. And now, even if it's just like that mic flashing on and on, like that feels good. Like people are listening, people are enjoying, and they feel the energy transmitted through their phones, which is so nice.
It's so nice. And I wanted to say, I did a room, I have a confidence room that I'm not going to be able to do on this Friday or for the next week because shit's crazy. But I have a normal room every Friday morning in Australia at 9 a.m. And it's about getting confident on Clubhouse. And it's like a safe space where we just come and share and help people. A lot of newbies come and, and when I spoke to you after we had our IG message, it was like, hey, I can come in and I'll play some music. And I was so honored, first of all, because I'm like, oh my God, we're going to have music in our room. Like as if we can't play it ourselves, but it's different, it's different when you go to try to do it. But I heard you and now I can never unhear that. I was like, it was so cool what you did. And you came into the room and you played music and you had the horn. So to everybody listening, you guys don't know this about me, actually, podcast listeners, but in Clubhouse, I have this little horn thing that I do. And I just think it's so fun because it's one of my favorite sounds in music, Madge, like, because it's like, and it just makes you feel like, yeah. So I feel like I am a human horn in real life. Yeah. It's like it's just like, what? Like shit's about to get real, motherfuckers. That's what it feels like, And so I feel like that. Like I am the horn in real life, So you came in, you had the real horn, which was way better than mine. And then you played a song at the end. And I don't know if you did it on purpose, but it was a J-Lo song. And I'm Puerto Rican and I fucking love J-Lo. Like I love her. I love her so much. And I'm not going to lie, at the end of that room that we had, it was so hype and so good. And the vibe was so nice that when we closed the room and you were playing that song, and that's one of my favorite songs, I was like dancing in my bedroom and there's a mirror closet, and I was just like vibing with myself, and then watching everyone flash mics, and then I got really teary. Like I finished the room and I got teary. I was like, man, that shit was incredible, the feeling. And you did that with your music. And yes, it was the whole room plus the music at the end, but I don't know, it just really gave us such a vibe.
Erica, what you're missing to say is that you created that space.
Buddy.
You gave the everybody, me, the audience, the moderators, a medium where we can all come as people and connect on so many different levels, whether it's words, whether it's sounds, whether it's horns or music. So, and this goes back to what we were saying before about leadership. It's the people that create these spaces for others to be great and shine that are the true leaders of the world. And you're doing that. And that's really the intention of why do people follow you? Because they see the authenticity behind what you're doing, right? When you're coming up and saying, I want to make people feel confident. I want to make women feel confident about themselves by being real.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more real than that.
You're awesome. We need you to keep doing the thing. So I love you. You're the best. I want to ask you. So what is coming up for you? What's your big vision and dream and goal? I know you love playing festivals, and what's going to happen now in this world of COVID where, I don't know about Canada, but are festivals happening? Are things still happening? Can you go to America? What's the deal?
Yeah, that's a good question. Nothing is happening in Canada for now.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. What I'm doing is virtual events. So virtual events have really been my savior here in Canada, where I work with companies like IKEA, Amazon, Google. Yeah, and we throw events for them, DJ for their staff, like once a month or once every now and then. Really cool stuff. Doesn't compare to real life, but definitely a substitute, which I'm grateful for. I'm trying to connect and build bridges internationally because that's where I see the future is. And to be more visual, think about it this way. Let's say in the next short period of time, you're going to be rocking a stage or a stadium filled with people there to listen to you talk about confidence, and somebody's going to need to be playing the horns behind you. Well,
you're welcome. Let's do it. That shit's happening, buddy. It's in my vision board. Okay, you're there.
You have to draw me right behind you there in the corner.
Oh my gosh, I will. Can you please wear a little bit of pink or a little bit of cheetah, and it could be masculine cheetah print. Okay.
I'll wear cheetah pants.
Okay.
I'll wear cheetah leather pants.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Yes, I love this. Okay, so 100% me and Hamish were talking about you after we met you because we love you. My husband loves him, and you're just the best, and your girlfriend's amazing. And I said to Hamish is like, do you think, because he's having his 40th birthday this year, he's like, do you think we could live stream July 9th? He's like, okay. Do you think we could live stream DJ Match in? And I'm like, I don't know, but we should ask him. I said, if not, we'll just ask him if he could do a mixtape, and we'll buy a mixtape from him, which I also think is a good idea. People could request a genre and then buy a mixtape from you. I don't know. Is that something you what's the deal? How do you do this? Because people in Australia are going to want to know about you and do all the damn thing. And if you have any hookups or connections, people listening, be sure to hit DJ Maj up because he's fucking incredible. You don't hit the charts #1 without being amazing at the skill of DJing. So congrats.
So Hamish's birthday, July 9th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's also Nunavut Day. It's a region here in Canada, which I have no idea why it has a day, but I looked at my calendar and it says Nunavut Day. I'll be there. I promise you now on the call, on the podcast. I will be there. We're gonna rock Hamish's birthday without a doubt. And virtually, if I can be there in presence, wow, come on. I mean,
great. I know.
That'd be awesome. But I will be there virtually. We're gonna rock his birthday up. I've been working with a lot of trainers here in Montreal that pay me to make mixtapes for them because they go live on Instagram. Yeah. And so they need a mixtape so that their Instagram live doesn't get cut off. Right? Because if you play the song too long, then it's going to get cut off.
I was going to ask you about that. Yes. Okay.
So that's sort of another market that I've tapped into because of the pandemic. So I've got a couple of trainers where they pay me because they have such a big community and they do these live streams, these live workouts, but they're an hour long and they can't have it cut off, but they need music.
So cool, man. You're so cool. See these, do you know what I mean? Like, that's a problem. You solve it. And it's fun and it's awesome and it's changing lives. You get to do what you want to do. The people get to dance and listen to music and sweat and work out. And the personal trainer looks good as well because he's got this like custom mix. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you need a mixtape, you'll let me know.
Listen, we all gonna let you know. You're gonna get all the DMs. Everybody go. Head to the show notes when you finish this. I've put all of DJ Majd details there. Hit him in the DMs. He does awesome reels as well and IGTVs. It's a cool thing because I saw a few DJs in America that were doing like, you know, quarantine parties. Like, fuck it. Every 8 p.m. Friday night, we're gonna do a set and we're gonna play. And like, it's just for the people, you know, to enjoy. So I think, yeah, that's powerful.
We have that responsibility. We have, as DJs, you build people up with the music. You lift the spirits up. You have the power to make somebody feel empowered and energetic and good about themselves just with the music. You don't have to speak. If you play the right songs at the right time in the right order, you can change somebody's life. How powerful is that? Come on.
Oh my God. I love it.
When the pandemic hit, I mean, it was our calling. It was everybody's calling. Like, we had to. So we did it and we love it.
I love it. I think it's so, we could talk about this for another 17 hours because I love like what you said about what song and when and where. Like, I think I told you this when we first talked. Like, I have a playlist that I play at all my events, and there's certain songs at certain exercises and with certain words that I'm like, that I want you to hear that. Like, I almost want to sing to them, but I don't really sing very well. So like, I don't want to mess up their vibe, but I'm like, I want to sing this song to you because music is so powerful and it can do so much for us, you know, in different phases. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite genre? Do you have a favorite DJ? Do you have like a favorite genre that you like to play or mix or like, because I know you do almost everything. Like,
I do. Everything all around. It can be Caribbean music, African, hip hop, house, techno. I just love music. I love energy. And I see energy with all music. Just depends on the time of the day.
And it's not harder. It's not harder to mix like techno versus R&B because they're so different.
They're so different, and they have a different approach to them. But if you really love the music, then you'll dedicate the time to understand each and understand the culture. Culture is so important, especially with music. Yeah. You can't just say I play reggaeton without understanding what the culture is and where it came from and why. Right? You have to know. You have to know who the OGs are, how they built it up, why did it become the way it became right now. I don't know if you saw like at the Latin Music Awards, it was Ozuna, it was J Balvin, Nicky Jam, Bad Bunny, and they all came out and they sang Daddy Yankee songs.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I mean, like, talk about culture and talk about influence. So as a DJ, what I love doing is let me learn this music, but by learning it, I'm learning the story, the back end. How did it become to what it is today? And then the technical aspect is the easy part. It's the fun part. Just takes practice. But the cultural one is definitely a lot more interesting to me. But what I really love playing is anything Caribbean, anything hip hop, and anything house. These three genres, they speak to me on a much deeper level because I attach specific feelings to each independently, and they're mutually exclusive. Which is what I love about them. So I've got different moods that I go throughout the day. Yeah. For example, everything is intentional though. So when I played that J-Lo song, the J-Lo song was intentional, right? When we were in that room, you were there. I know you're Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah.
So you see, it's intentional. Intentionality is key, but it's an understanding of the culture. That's what's important.
And there's a pride that comes to, like, I think culture, like, obviously I'm not just Puerto Ricans, but in America, everybody has Puerto Rican flags in their car. Like, Puerto Rico's like super proud and like, oh, Puerto Rico, Boricua. Like, it's such a vibe. So when you did that, also there was an element of pride that I got, like, yeah, J-Lo, my lady. Like, yeah, anyway.
That's it. But you have to understand what the story is, right? You have to understand J-Lo's story, the culture that she's been building, what her moves were. That's super important, especially with music. And my favorite DJ has been over the pandemic has been D Nice.
Yeah.
He's just phenomenal. This guy, I mean, just think about it. Michelle Obama signed up to his Instagram live and she was watching him play with all the other people. I mean, talk about influence, talk about impact, but also talk about the power of music, bringing everybody together, literally, right? So people like that I look up to. DJ Cassidy, this guy is absolutely amazing, definitely my role model. Jazzy Jeff, he's just an OG, right? DJ Premier, all these amazing people that have paved the way for people like me to come up and be respected, but also be admired. It's not just an individual effort. It's everybody before you that has come and that has built that. So when you're building your community and you're empowering all these people, the one thing that I would love for the people that are listening to this to know is that when these people you're influencing go on to influence more people, it happened because somebody had to pave the way. Somebody had to do the grunt work to build that confidence level, to share the story, to give the blueprints to what feeling confident is. It doesn't just hit you one day and then you're the person. No, there's people before you that paved the way. And you're doing that so beautifully with your community that I would hope the people listening would admire and appreciate everything that you're doing.
You're the best. Thank you. And I think you're right. It is like I used to say in my Instagram bio, it was like if Gary Vee, Cardi B, Oprah, and Tony Robbins and Jim Carrey, I didn't have him because I couldn't fit him, but if they had a baby, like that would be me, you know, like I love Jim Carrey, like his whole I just love him. He's the funniest and the best guy. And then like all the others, because I'm like pieces of them, percentages of my husband, percentages of all my mentors. Like, you know, we take from all of these people, and even when you're out there in the world, these people that have influenced you, you are percentages of them, you know, so it's never just us by ourselves. So I think that's really powerful. I could talk to you for hours. You have so much great skill. And I think that that's one of the biggest thing. And I'm not saying that just to say that, but you know, I see all these DJs now, especially like women that are like sexy girls, and no offense, y'all, do your thing with your boobs out, whatever. It's cool. But like all these sexy DJs, but the skill, you know, and to anybody listening, my first husband who passed away, Gio, was a DJ, and he was so, like, he was like you, like he practiced and he tried to do the crab on my ear. He would do it. And I'm like, okay, you're getting it. You know, like I'll never forget the fast flicker. I'm like, what is that? He was doing the crab on my ear. So do that to your girlfriend, you know, and like the dedication and the hours of sitting there and practicing. And then when a mix would go in, it was like, whoa, that shit's like honey. Like it's so smooth. And so I can never not hear that. So when I listen, I'm like, oh, that was rough, bro. Or that was good. And, you know, it doesn't matter how you look and how pretty you are and that you have a set of DJ things. It's like, what are you making with the music? And I'll tell you right now, hand on heart, I've listened to your mixtape like many times because we listen to it in our car. We love it. It's in the show notes to anybody who wants it. It is free. He's amazing like that. But like the skill that you have to go from house to then R&B to then like, it's so fast. You move so fast. And so I just want to honor you. And I want you to take the honoring without complimenting me, because honestly, it's hard. It's not easy to do that. And that just shows the time, the dedication, the love, the care, the skill on your behalf. So that shit is amazing.
Thank you.
So, okay, people want to hear from you. People want to download and listen to your music. How can they connect with you if they do want? I know that you said on your stories you were doing mixtapes. And if people want to book you, like if they want to pay for your service and book you, like how can people do that?
Absolutely. So everything is on my website, djmajd.com. That's djmajd.com. If you want to get behind the scenes, then come on my Instagram at djmajdmtl. I believe the notes are going to be uploaded with the podcast.
Yeah, everything.
Like this is saying. So just come on my Instagram. My DMs are open. You can shoot me a DM. Would love to talk to you. But for bookings, anything more official, go through the website so you can send me an email. But if you'd like to chit chat and just get to know more about me and my music, then I'm always in for a good time and a good conversation. So and Clubhouse. Oh boy, Clubhouse is another world. Then if you're not on Clubhouse, first of all, you need to get on Clubhouse. The first person you need to follow is Erica, the Queen of Confidence herself. Her picture is probably the boldest, most pinkish picture on the app itself. And you give her a follow, and then right after that, you give Hamish a follow as well. And then you drop me a follow at DJ Majd, and we'll connect.
Yeah, and you're running rooms as well. So you run heaps of rooms and you have a community there. So this guy is amazing. I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for saying yes to this. Thank you for sharing vulnerably your story as well, because I think it's so powerful and important. It speaks so much of the heart and soul that is you, is that story. And so thank you for sharing that with our amazing community. And thank you for existing and being incredible. I can't wait to meet you and your girlfriend, Isabella. Shout out to Isabella and her amazing business that she's doing as well. Like, she's the bomb. You guys are amazing.
Can we give her a quick shout out?
Hell yes.
Isabella's awesome. If you want to check out what Isa's doing, you check out her Instagram. She is a balloon magician.
Yes.
I don't mean she makes magic tricks with balloons at your cousin's 6th birthday. She makes balloon decorations. She makes balloon garlands. She's an artist and she's a creative. And if you want to check her out, it's Balloon Babe MTL.
Balloon Babe MTL, which stands for Montreal. You guys are the best. Honestly, her energy is so beautiful. When I met her as well, I said to my husband just before we finish, like, any other time, maybe in the world, or if I was in my first marriage and my husband was speaking to a random woman on a video, I'd be like, who the fuck is that bitch? How did you meet her? Who are you talking to? Why are you guys having a video chat? You know? And like, in today's day of Clubhouse, I have so many male friends that I'm literally having video calls with, and we don't care. It's not a big deal. We're just being friendly. But it's so funny how my old self, and even maybe my husband's old self, not now, but back in the day when we were insecure and we had all our shit going on and we weren't managing our mindset, it would have never been okay. And like, now I have a best friend in Montreal, and Isabella. Shout out, Isa. You know, like, what a beautiful world.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome. You're awesome. Hamish is awesome. It's just a blessing to be with you and in your presence and sharing this space and energy. And hats off to you again, Erica, for everything that you've built and for allowing the space for people to come and share their stories. But not only that, for having such an impact on your community. It's only the beginning for you. I hope you know that.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we're going to have stadiums and you're going to be the DJ and we're going to hook it up with the cheetah print pants. Thank you so much for your time and for being here. You're the best. Everybody, please head to the show notes, connect with this amazing human. I thank you and I honor you for your time, my friend.
Thank you so much, Erica. I'm happy to be here.
My love, before you go, I really want to share this incredible opportunity with you, because if you're loving this podcast, then you will most likely love working with me for the next 12 months in the sisterhood. It's my year-long coaching experience, and I have really good news because we have shifted and changed the pricing. There is a new offer for 2021 because I know how many people struggled in 2020 financially, and I also know how much shit came up for us that we all need to be working on. So, year-long coaching program, The Sisterhood, with me. You can join in person if you live in Melbourne, or you want to fly to Melbourne 6 times a year, or you can join online where I coach live for the 12 months. You have me as your coach. You can hit me with any problems or questions you have. We coach live for 2 hours a month. It is next level shit. The community is incredible. If you want to learn more, head to my website, thequeenofconfidence.com/sisterhood, SISTA, sisterhood. I can't wait to welcome you. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate your ears, your time, your energy, and your attention. Please do me a favor and head over to Apple iTunes, subscribe so that you don't miss an episode, share this episode with a sister who you know needs to hear it, and if you feel called to, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think about the podcast. I'd love to know how this information is helping you change your world. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many podcasts you could listen to, and I really appreciate you listening to mine. Have a gorgeous week, honey.